Are you still contemplating on whether or not you should build your own DIY electric skateboard? In this video, I'm going to be reviewing my electric skateboard build coming up in this episode of Big Kids. What's up, e-skaters? It's Neil with Big Kids, and on this channel we talk about DIY tips, vendors, and the electric skateboard community. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to see more videos just like this one, and also don't forget to check the show notes below for more information or links that I leave in the description. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing my DIY electric skateboard that I built a couple months ago, and also review some of the great improvements that I've made, so stay tuned. So here it is, my DIY electric skateboard. If you haven't seen my electric skateboard build, click the link above. It's a great reference if you're building your own board. But if you did see my electric skateboard build, you're gonna notice right now that my board looks a little bit different. And the reason is that I got into a little bit of an accident, which actually broke the nose of my board. This is a 41-inch Sector 9 bamboo board. And I'm gonna start off by talking about the hardware that I ended up getting for this build. And the most obvious piece is the board itself. This is a 9-ply maple board I bought from Decoy Supply. It is about 39 inches, so it's a little shorter than my original board. It's also maple, so the material is much harder than the bamboo board. The bamboo board muffles a lot of the vibration, and this one is a little bit stiffer. Stiff boards are meant to be better for speed, and this build was definitely more about the speed. Out of the box, it only cost me 40 bucks. Next up, I got orangutan nipples, and don't get that wrong, these are not orangutan nipples. Literally, they're actually bushings. Bushings are the urethane piece that goes in between your truck to help it pivot. And if you don't have good bushings, it will definitely affect your ride. The bushings that came on my original trucks were very stiff, and the urethane was really cheap. It's stuck in place. What you're looking for is something with a nice rebound, so that when you're riding your board and you're turning, it'll come back centered very quickly. My original bushings didn't do that, so I needed to change it, and it was a pretty cheap change. Relative to other bushings, these orangutans were a little bit on the pricey side. They're about $17. And they have three types. They have the orange, purple, and the yellow. The orange is 80A Duro, which is for people in the 80 to 180 range in their weight. The purple is 83A, which I ended up getting, and that's for people in the 160 to 230 pound range. And then lastly, they have the yellow, which is the 86A Duro, which is for people in the 200 to 270 weight range, a little bit heavier. But either way, if you choose one that is good for you and your skill level, I think you're gonna be happy. So yeah, these have definitely helped me with the speed wobbles, and also I can loosen up my trucks a little bit more now. A high value for the money that you're gonna put into that product. So next up on hardware, I'm gonna be talking about my wheels. I got 100mm all-terrain MBS wheels. These suckers are so wicked. They're about 10 millimeters larger than my original flywheel clones that I purchased for my build. And the contact patch is about 13 millimeters larger than my flywheels as well. So there's a lot of contact with the ground, and these rivets or like kind of a tread in the wheels themselves. You could definitely go over roads that are a lot more rough. You know, depending on where you live, you might not always have the smoothest pavements, and this will definitely help you out. One thing that I did notice when I got these is that the urethane on these are really nice. These are 78A, and the urethane mix is noticeably different than my flywheel clones. Nothing wrong with flywheel clones. They're a good starter, especially for the price. But when I was riding on them, I did notice little chunks kind of flying off of the wheels. And then I do have a pair where the urethane is great. So it's really hit or miss on the flywheel clones. If you want to go flywheel, just go with the Flywheel company as their wheel, and their urethane is just awesome. But definitely recommend these, and I'm super happy. They're an awesome purchase. They're about 70 bucks, but I will tell you that they are hard to find. So try your hardest to find them and share in the comments below you know, any links that you guys find for any of the other e-skate community that are looking for these 100mm MBS wheels. A common problem that I'm finding is that a lot of people building their DIY boards are having a hard time finding enclosures or a durable enclosure. And I had the same problem. Before this, I was using an IKEA drawer insert. So I wanted to enclose all my electronics, and I found this ESC enclosure from Torque Boards, DIYelectricskateboards.com. And it is a great solution. It is on the pricey side, it's $35. It's really hard plastic, so it's very durable. I have all my electronics in there, my ESC, some wires and things like that. Yeah, I think it's definitely worth it. If you guys have any other suggestions for your enclosures, leave it in the comments below, because I do think that that's something that everybody's gonna wanna figure out, is what kind of enclosure they wanna use. So now that we've gone over the hardware, I now want to go into the electronics of the board. There have been a couple changes, some big, some small. The biggest change that you're going to notice on my board are these really long ass Lipos. Luckily, a friend of mine, Cage, who I met on the eSkate Builders Forum, lent these to me, and I think I do want to get a set. These are two 6S Lipos in series from Thunderbolt RC. It's a local company. You could buy them online, and each of these Lipos were purchased with a discount, and they're about 100 a piece. So they are on the pricier side. I'm sure you could find some 6S Lipos for cheaper, but the quality of these are phenomenal. The biggest difference is that my original board was a 10S, two 5S Lipos in series, and that is 42 volts. This is a 12S or two 6S Lipos in series, and this is 50.2 volts. So just about 8 volt difference, and that 8 volts is awesome. I have the speed and the torque on this are just phenomenal, especially when it works with these new 100mm wheels. I've hit about 33 miles per hour as a top speed. I could get up hills a lot better, and it just doesn't seem as stressed. I will say this though, as a precaution, if you are running a VESC, that 12S could be pushing it, like say when you're going up a hill and your battery or your motor demands a lot of power. They've been known to short. The VESC, it has a sweet spot right at 10S, and you can still hit, you know, a high speed with the 10S. But I do have a longer range with these, and they're just really wicked. So I definitely recommend them. On my last board, my on-off solution was an XT90 with just a loop in it. It was just like an anti-spark key that I used. It's a great solution. It's very simple and cheap, but I did want to try to find something a little bit cleaner looking, and I found this OnOff Switch from Miami Electric. It cost about $55, so it is on the pricier side, but it is rated for 14S. It eliminates that spark, and it does have a blue LED, which is really cool. So those are kind of the small things. I could turn it on and off pretty quickly, and then my electronics are protected really well from the on and off switch. So my last electronic improvement on my board is my battery indicator. I bought this battery indicator off of Amazon for about 11 bucks. It's not much different than the battery or the voltmeters that you could buy online. You might be familiar with these, and these work just fine. They're about $2-3 a piece. I'll leave a link in the description below. but I kind of wanted something that looked like an LCD screen that you'd see on the full build boards. This one will show you your percentage, as well as kind of have like a bar or a battery with little bars in it showing you where you are with your voltage. It is a blue LED screen, which is kind of nice because it matches my power button. But what you do want to make sure is that the battery indicator that you do have is rated for the amount of volts that you have. I have 50 volts right here, so this one is rated for 50 volts. But at the end of the day, they kind of do the same thing. It's just a matter of preference. And one of the awesome things about DIY is that you could kind of make it whatever you want it. Hey guys, thanks for joining us on that DIY electric skateboard review. I want to hear from you guys. What have you guys done to improve your DIY board? Or what do you plan on doing? Also, please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. We'd really appreciate it as it helps us grow as a channel. Hope you guys enjoy it and see you in the next one. Peace! What's up, e-skaters? It's Neil with Big Kids, and on this channel, I like the girls and the pumps and the bumps. All right. Ah!